Mafia 3, a game I wanted to love, a game I looked forward to playing through, a game that made me interested in Mafia again. Not since Mafia 2 on PlayStation 3 did I really bother playing Mafia ever again, and that was a long time ago. But the trailers for Mafia 3 inspired me, interested me in this series that honest to God felt quite dead to me. But Mafia 3 is unfortunately riddled with issues that I cannot ignore on the PC. First of all, Mafia 3 in many respects feels like a step back from Mafia 2. The lack of an ability to customize your character as far as changing his clothes, which was prominent in Mafia 2, but it will be a post-launch feature later on. In fact, most of the things that you come to love from Mafia 2 will be post-launch features in Mafia 3. Essentially, Mafia 3 is an early access game. That's pretty much all it boils down to. All the really standard features that were in the last Mafia games will come about a month later for this Mafia game. That's unacceptable. This is a half-baked, half-finished product, and I'm not pleased with that. The patch of 1.01 did bring 60 FPS and unlimited FPS, but it brought also a litany of many other bugs and problems. Many people have been experiencing crashing with and without a reshade. And frankly, this game without a reshade is an ugly mess. It's 2016, and Mafia 3 often feels like it's behind the times. There are a multitude of videos that are currently out displaying the fact that even GTA 3, a game that is over 15 years old, has more realism in it. You crash or flip a car, you don't pop it back on its wheels like an arcade game. You crawl out. And instead of Lincoln crawling out of a car, he just, boop, appears out of it. The enemy AI is... I have no words for it, really. I really have no words for the level of stupidity the enemy AI is. Maybe the developers were under a crunch. Maybe the developers assumed that most players, such as myself, would play the game actually trying to play it with our heads about our shoulders. But thank God for other people who took the time and the liberty to actually see how far the AI would actually go. And the AI is nothing short of laughably bad. There's a video by Crowbait illustrating this on such a level that it's utterly staggering and completely and utterly appalling. I will say that there are some goods to Mafia 3. The driving mechanic in simulation mode is quite impressive. I found it most enjoyable, and I only hope that other sandbox games that incorporate driving will have a very, very similar driving mechanic. It's satisfying to power drift through a turn with your rear brake, and if you overbake the turn, you spin completely out. It's sad that the cars don't really have any level of real damage. I mean, yes, they get damaged, but you have to go out of your way to damage cars. They're like battle tanks now. Another thing I noticed about cars is often many of them seem to be missing their left side mirror. What the fuck is this? Another rushed port. Another poor example for PC gaming. I don't know who is to blame. Maybe it's myself. Maybe it's the developers. Maybe it's the shareholders pushing the developers like pack mules and leading them with a carrot, overworking them, and putting them over the edge. But in this day and age, it's quite sad. Now, the story for Mafia 3 is actually pretty good. In fact, the story is the best part of the game, next to the music. The story is so interesting and enthralling, I found myself trying to rush through the very, very, very repetitive missions just to reach the next story bit. Also, with the numerous levels of crashing, I kind of rushed missions because I never knew when the game was going to crash again, leaving me to start over from another far-off area to drive to the same point to complete the same task yet again, to watch the same brutal animations or non-lethal animations play out over and over and over again. The satisfaction that was once had in those really, really over-the-top violent melee kills quickly becomes stale and monotonous when you do it so repetitively that I honest to God have no word in my lexicon that could truly convey to you the lack of enthusiasm I felt after a while. I punched myself in the nuts a few times to remember that I was alive and that I was suffering. Next up is the music, and honestly I must say the music in Mafia 3 is applause-worthy. In fact, it's like listening to a classic rock station that doesn't play any classic rock songs that you think suck. That's pretty much what Mafia 3 is. In fact, some of the best moments you can have are driving around town and listening to the classic rock stations. as you just power your way through. These are the ultimate selling points. Unfortunately, the game was just handled so poorly as far as the gameplay mechanics. The monotony, the minutia, the hit or miss animations, falling through the world. There was a point where I was walking through Lincoln on the pier, and all of a sudden I was walking, but I was walking on air while my back dragged across the ground. I thought to myself, holy shit. And I thought Batman Arkham Knight was a ported piece of crap at launch. This made Batman Arkham Knight seem like a well-made masterpiece. I mean, really. Honestly, I've seen the review IGN gave to Mafia 3, a 7.5. This is unacceptable. Forgive my cat putting his face in the microphone. Mafia 3, at best, in its current state, is maybe a 5. A 5. Yes, the story's good. Yes, the music's good. Yes, the driving simulation is decent. Yes, combat when it works isn't bad. But the combat becomes repetitive. The melee kills become extremely repetitive. You find yourself completing the same mission over and over and over again. And sometimes while trying to clear a racketeering boss, you find yourself going to the same place, if not twice, but 3 times to do the same thing, just with a few more enemies. The AI is so dumb it turns down to a mindless minutia of a shooting gallery. I cannot abide by this and sit here and tell you the game is a 7.5. IGN should be ashamed. And I'm sure GameSpot will do the same. It'll at least get a 7. And frankly, this is the sort of crap that the big gaming channels do, and that's why they're losing their audience. If I recall correctly, GameSpot gave No Man's Sky a 7. I rest my case. Can I recommend this game to you at full retail price? Hell fucking no. I would not recommend this game to you unless you absolutely positively could not live unless you found out Lincoln's story. Then yes, it's worth it. But if you're not mindlessly in love with this game on some level that would make you seem fairly psychotic, I'd say wait till this is on sale. Wait till the developers put out enough patches where this game can handle using a suite effects without choking to death on itself. Wait till the developers put out a patch where the global illumination isn't laughably bad, where sunlight peers through the creaks of concrete. Like, what the fuck? The fact that the sky just changes. 1 minute it's the daytime, but then a cloud comes by and it's as dark as nightfall. What's going on here? I don't know. The fact that walking past mirrors can cause the game to either A, freeze, or B, whatever's going on in the mirror freezes. Do not buy this game with your hard-earned money in this current state unless you get it at a massively reduced price. I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm saying this as someone who's paid for the game and can honestly say, in a clear head, without going off into an angry rage or a tangent, that this is not worth your money. That Hangar 13, I hope they have a damn good excuse for it being in this state. 2016 is rapidly becoming the year of overhyped games with far too little content or far too many bugs at a far too high a price tag. No, I didn't pay full price for this game, and I'm fucking glad I didn't. Well, this is my first review for a recently new game, and maybe I'll do others later. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. And once again, thank you for always tuning in to my lame little channel.